Do you know what this is?
It's a yellow book. It has everyone's phone numbers in it, right?
Well, you've just read on there, it says yellow book.
And it's yellow.
Right.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things kids can't do anymore.
Seriously? Well, I'm not even looking at the map anymore. As a matter of fact, you can pick all the stops from here to Lake Destiny.
For this list, we're looking at items that were once common for previous generations of kids and are no longer available, and activities that today's young people wouldn't engage in. Which childhood activity do you miss the most? Let us know in the comments. Number 10, use a phone book.
I'd like the phone book for Hokkaido, Japan, please.
Okay, here you go.
There was a time when a phone book was a sacred document for communication. Need to reach a person or a business? Just thumb through the thin pages and dial away. But phone books eventually became a giant nuisance that arrived on your doorstep every few months. With the internet and smartphones, there's just not as much use for these books. But we still have some very fond memories of finding friends' numbers, as well as that indescribable phone book aroma.
Page 73, Johnson, Maven, R. I'm somebody now. Millions of people look at this book every day.
And we occasionally want to reach for one to get in touch with friends. After all, how many phone numbers do you actually have committed to memory these days?
Sally Tibbs, Sally. 461-0192.
How did you know my phone number?
How'd you know that?
You said read the telephone book last night.
Number 9, read a printed map.
Well, hey, look, Maxie, we're using the same map me and my dad used. We'll take the same route and make the same stops and see the same sights.
If you're going to a new destination, you just need to punch the address into your phone or other GPS device. A friendly robot voice can even guide you there. This technological marvel is a miracle compared to all the map reading people used to deal with. Whenever you needed to travel somewhere new, you or someone else had to navigate illustrated routes. If you missed an exit or took a wrong turn, you might not realize it for a while. There might also be a few harsh words exchanged between you and your fellow travelers about the right way.
Why don't you just give me the map?
Oh, no thanks, son. Navigating's a big responsibility. Besides, you wouldn't want to spoil the big surprise.
Oh, and good luck folding them back up when you're done. Now is a good time to thank our GPS devices for keeping us going.
There's a lake there! I think it knows where it is going. The machine knows!
This is the lake!
Stop yelling at me!
No, it's
Stop
up
yelling!
there! There's no road here!
Number 8, multi-tap texting.
So worried about you. You're texting. Finally, yeah.
Sending a text message used to feel like a mini workout for your thumbs. Before smartphones and touchscreen keyboards, we had to rely on multi-tap texting. This process involved pressing our phone keys between 1 and 3 times just to get one letter. And we eventually got so good, we were able to send messages without even looking at our phones. At the time, young people were made fun of for abbreviating the words of our texts so much.
3,000 texts last month.
NWRUS?
That wasn't a compliment. Sean, 1,000 texts?
UGH.
But those who criticized text shorthand did not understand the struggle of typing one message. When keyboards on phones became widespread, you better believe we were saying OMG.
Text Uncle! Text Uncle!
Number 7, blow into video game cartridges.
But one of my favorite things ever was this. It was the Nintendo 64 video game, GoldenEye.
Would young gamers recognize old school cartridges at a first glance? Systems like the N64 and NES once used these instead of CDs to give us some classic games. When they weren't working properly, we'd take a deep breath and blow into the cartridge so it was as good as new. How did this miracle work? Well, as much as we hate to ruin your childhood, it didn't.
I never asked myself why I was blowing in my video games. It just worked. Except I was wrong. And so were you. It didn't do a thing.
Blowing into video game cartridges was nothing more than a placebo. Gaming giant Nintendo actually advised against it because your breath's moisture could potentially damage the game. Removing the cartridge and reinserting it was enough. Just think of all the breath we could have saved if we'd known that.
See, Lisa? Nails aren't hard to tame. They all follow their video cartridges.
Number 6, develop film.
It's a very nice camera.
Really?
Because Will's been trying to get me to go digital, remember?
Oh, don't do that.
These days, we know how our vacation photos will turn out the moment we take them thanks to our smartphones and digital cameras. But we miss the experience of dropping off a roll of film at our local pharmacy or grocery store and coming back an hour later with them fully developed. Or you could do it at home if you had a darkroom and knew how not to mess it up.
Oh, come on, the light!
Let's go.
Admittedly, we'd sometimes find that we left a thumb in front of the lens or that we forgot to turn on the flash. But for every 5 or 20 bad ones, we'd find ones that were ready for the photo album or suitable for framing. There are still stores like Walgreens that develop film, so if you've got an old roll lying around, you might want to bring it in.
And if these pictures have anything important to say to future generations, it's this. I was here.
Number 5, use rotary phones.
And what is this right here? Let me just turn this so the audience sees it as well. What is that?
It's a telephone.
It is a telephone.
You have to spin the dial.
Ever wonder why we refer to punching in a phone number as dialing? Because way back when, phones had rotary dials.
It's like I've been reborn. It's like all my life until this very moment, I was nothing.
I must use the phone. I've got to call Grandma.
In a second, Mom.
Calling someone meant putting your index finger in the correct hole and rotating it all the way to the finger stop. And if a person had a 9 or a 0 in their number, it felt like even more of a struggle. Rotary phones were eventually overtaken by push-button dialing. Honestly, even that feels quaint compared to simply being able to ask Siri to call someone. But in terms of vintage charm, it's hard to beat a rotary phone.
Remember that blue rotary phone you gave me for Christmas?
Yes?
I tossed it.
Okay, may I ask the reason?
Made me feel like Aunt Margaret and Bye Bye Birdie.
Number 4, make mixtapes.
Making her a mixtape?
Bigger than that?
Give her a key to your apartment.
Whoa, hello, we were closer with the mixtape.
Making a mixtape now can be as simple as going on Spotify and dragging your songs into a playlist. But it used to be a much more complicated process. To make a mixtape, you had to find physical copies of the music you wanted and burn those songs onto a blank CD or record them onto a cassette. If you didn't have access to the originals, you had to record the tracks from the radio directly.
For the next 90 minutes, I'm gonna make you an audio love nest. 'Cause girl, if you're feeling this...
Good luck tuning in at the right time to catch your favorite tune or the song you needed. And even if you did catch it, you'd have to record with another device and pray that nothing interrupted it. Was the sound quality ideal? No. However, it was all worth it for the perfect mix.
What are you trying to tell me?
I'm trying to tell you, I made you a mixtape.
Number 3, watch Saturday morning cartoons.
Hear me, X-Men. I need you in the war room immediately.
Thanks to streaming services, kids can watch their favorite shows at their own convenience. But seeing many of your favorite cartoons used to mean getting up early on Saturday mornings. Kids would sometimes be up before their parents. After 5 days of class and homework, there was no better reward than eating your favorite cereal and watching shows like Recess or X-Men.
Make your move, tough guy. Another time, shortstop, when I'm in the mood.
I see it and I don't believe it.
So what happened to Saturday morning cartoons? While certain channels still air them, making animated shows available at one time isn't as appealing because of streaming. However, there's no rule saying you can't still wake up at dawn on Saturday and marathon your old favorites.
Today's the big day, Gary. Look at me.
Number 2, use dial-up internet.
So I have 3 options here for me. Stardust Forever, S Club 7, which might be taken already, and Baby Spice 666.
Today, you can simultaneously browse the internet and carry on a phone conversation on the same device. But during the 90s and early 2000s, you had to choose between using the internet or using your home's landline. So let's say you were working on a homework assignment and needed to call a friend to ask about it. You'd have to log off the internet and then back on again. Are you finally talking to your crush on AIM? Well, too bad, because someone else needs to use the phone.
You're freaking me out!
Hey! I need to use the phone line now, so IM time is over.
Got it.
And if you wanted to sneak downstairs at night to use the family computer, you had to hope no one was woken up by the symphony of dial-up sounds.
Welcome.
It's safe to say we appreciate that dial-up internet is no longer the only option. Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. Make collect calls. Remember 1-800-COLLECT?
Yes, I'd like to make a collect call, please. I'm Clark Kent. Hi, Mom.
Use payphones. Before everyone had cell phones, payphones were your best bet.
George, your phone's free.
Hallelujah. Hey, excuse me, I was waiting here.
Where? I didn't see you.
Pay tolls with coins. We much prefer the electronic method.
Toll booth.
What?
Toll booth! $4. There are quarters in the glove compartment.
Read print TV listings. Want to know what's on tonight? Check TV Guide.
Who has the TV listings booklet?
The what?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Rent videos from the store.
What's that werewolf movie with E.T.'s mom in it?
The Howling, horror, straight ahead.
If you hear about a must-see movie that's out of theaters, you look up what streaming service it's on and enjoy. But once upon a time, you had to get off the couch and go down to the local video rental store.
So when I started in 2004, Blockbuster Video had roughly 9,000 stores and over 60,000 employees. And now...
Once at your favorite Blockbuster or other retailer, you had to hope that the video you wanted wasn't already checked out. If it was a new release and a Friday night, you were probably out of luck. But that could be a blessing in disguise. Maybe you'd encounter a movie you had never heard of that had cover art that was too good to resist. No matter what you rented, it was a common courtesy to rewind the tape back to the beginning. Ah, the good old days.
Be kind, rewind.
Okay.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.